Hello everyone and welcome to Knife Review 3000. Today we've got the SOG PowerLock EOD 2.0 Multitool. Comes in at about 75 bucks. You get the tool in a nylon sheath. The sheath, a couple comments about it. This was like super bright white stitching on here, and I just took a Sharpie and colored it in because I don't need to be a billboard for SOG, and it just stood out so much. So that's why that looks like that. The only other thing is this clip, which it's nice that you can just pop it on. You don't have to take your belt off, but with it being plastic, I'd be afraid that it get caught up on a rail or a door handle or desk or something or chair arm and just break. I've had like OtterBox belt clips like that I've broken off on chair arms. So that would worry me a little bit, but I've been wearing this for a little while. It hasn't happened yet, so maybe not. But yeah, it's works well. It is Velcro, which isn't my favorite just because of the noise. But yeah, it works. So that's the sheath. The tool itself, this one's black. There are different colors. There's been some comments. I saw some comments online about the finish coming off, so I just took a couple drops of rubbing alcohol on a paper towel and just kind of rubbed it for maybe 10 seconds, not even that. And you can tell that it is definitely a little bit lighter where I rubbed it, like on the top and on this corner. I just kind of rubbed it in. It's hard to tell on camera here with this lighting, but it's a shade or two lighter. So I personally don't care, but if aesthetics is important to you, or you really need something black, after a few years probably won't be much black left on there. So just a FYI, it is what it is. Also, you've got kind of a ratcheting mechanism. You've got two pivot points here for the pliers, so it kind of amplifies the force you're putting down, so which comes in really handy if you got something real small and you've got to put a lot of pressure on it to pull it out, that kind of thing. That really comes in handy. But so yeah, just helps you out a little bit. I haven't had any issues with it binding or getting skin caught in there working with it or anything. So seems to work well. You've got a nice, fairly fine needle nose plier on there. You got some wire cutters that are not replaceable. I noticed the glint of oil on there. This thing, when I got it, was just covered in oil. I had to paper towels, I spent a good bit of time trying to get all the oil off of it because it was just covered. So I'm glad it's not rusty, but there's even more coming out of that pivot there. So tons of oil. Just FYI, you're gonna spend a few minutes getting all the oil off of this thing. Where was I? So yeah, the wire cutters are not replaceable. You've got your pivot there. You do have a blasting cap crimper. I don't know how many people need that, but you have it if you need it. And then you've got a wire crimper below that there, which comes in handy every once in a while. So you've got that below there. As far as the handles go, you do have covers for the tools, which it does make it more comfortable, but it also makes it a lot more cumbersome getting them out. You're going to spend time opening it and closing it. There's some issues with like the bit driver here. It has a 90-degree lock, but you know, if that's there, what do you do with it? I guess you can go like that and try to, I don't know. Personally, the first thing I would have done if I didn't have this channel, wasn't reviewing, is take those things off and get rid of them. It does make it more comfortable, definitely, because you've got rounded edges versus these, just the sheet metal there, the sides. They're not sharp, but they're less comfortable than having it covered there. So, personal preference, whatever you want to do, but yeah, you can take them off. I'm going to do that now, and that's how it's going to stay for mine. But again, you can do whatever you want. There's more of that oil, goodness. So the tools here, they are all locking, hence the PowerLock from SOG. So on one side you've got a 3-way file, a couple of different textures, and then the side, it's not as aggressive as some, so I'd like to see that a little bit more aggressive, but don't use it that much. It's not a huge deal. You've got your can opener and small flathead screwdriver. What else here? You got your Phillips head. Just not a huge one, not super long, but it's not too bad. You got, let's see, I wonder how it compares to, to this guy. So my super tool, which is generally what I carry. Yeah. So you got another about 1/2 inch from the super tool. So it does come out, but it's not super long. And it is kind of small. I'd be afraid of stripping smaller screws with that. You got a saw, you got your awl here, and then a large flathead. So that's that side. Again, all locking. You've got on this side your main blade, which is partially serrated. It's very thin. So I'm going to try to do this without cutting myself. Alright, so very thin blade. You can see you can bend it fairly easily, and partially serrated, so I wouldn't want to do anything super heavy duty with that. Be afraid of breaking that. You've got a bit driver, which I was talking about before, has a 90-degree stop, which using it like this, that's depending on what you're doing. If you've got plenty of room around, you could use it like this, but you would have to have a lot of room. Obviously you couldn't do that, use it closed, doesn't work like that. But you do have the option to have it 90 degrees, in which case you could do it closed. You get some more room for your bits. Of course, it doesn't come with sockets, so be aware of that. You would have to have a socket set with you to use that, but it's there if you need it. Scissors. The scissors are pretty decent. You're not gonna be cutting through cardboard and stuff with it, but good for let's see what I got here. If you paracord, if for whatever reason you needed to take just a little bit off the end of a paracord, it works. It's okay. So they're all right. Definitely we'll do threads and fingernails and the normal EDC stuff. What else over here? Is that it? Let's see. That is it. There's one more thing over here. The bottle opener and screwdriver. So yeah, just standard bottle opener screwdriver is on that side. So kind of your basics. The oddballs are going to be kind of the socket, the 1/4 inch socket driver. Scissors aren't on a lot of these. That's about it. Everything else is pretty standard. There is a lanyard loop there, tiny little thing. Seems like that would get bent or broken fairly easily, but I don't know. I don't use lanyards, so I don't care. But if you do, you know, might be an issue for you. So yeah, 75 bucks. It's got a lot going for it, and then some not. The oil, good lord, that oil is on there, and the finish. I don't know if that's the finish or the oil. But so you might have to spend some time getting it to where you want as far as that's concerned. But of course you see the ruler on there too. So yeah, the SOG PowerLock EOD 2.0 Multitool plus Scissors is what it's called. If you have any questions about it, definitely let me know in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Help me out a lot. Like if you like it. And yeah, y'all have a good day. Thanks.